there's a part of the scripture that talks about Esther.
Oh, Williams.
And a time such as this, and that's what we talked about. And it was very comforting for me.
Riveting.
I'll take research I never completed for 500, Alex. Oh,
don't get me started on
this one is fantastic. She's asked about a pastor, and she becomes a theologian, kind of.
One of the first phone calls you made after President Biden announced that he was dropping out was to your pastor. And I'm wondering, if it wasn't a confessional, if you could say what that conversation was like.
Well, my pastor, Reverend Dr. Amos C. Brown of Third Baptist Church.
You read that on the card.
It was an extraordinary day that Sunday when the president called me, and I instinctively understood the gravity of the moment, the seriousness of the moment. I didn't predict or know exactly how that day would play out, and obviously now it's been 3 months since I've been at the top of the ticket, actually 3 months as of yesterday. But I just called him. I needed that spiritual kind of connection. I needed that advice. I needed a prayer. And,
God.
And there's a part of the scripture that talks about Esther.
Oh, Williams.
And a time such as this, and that's what we talked about. And it was very comforting for me.
Riveting.
I'll take research I never completed for 500, Alex. Oh, really? Esther, times such as these, Old Testament or New?
Yeah.
The queen of the Sheba Inu.
No, not even.
Then Rebecca.
But Esther's a book.
Times as these.
And it's a woman.
It's a good book. I wrote the forward.
It's a weird, it's such a, like you said, it's a weird way. She didn't do the read. Like, there's a part of scripture that talks about Esther. No, there's a book that talks about Esther. And the book is called Esther.
It's the Esther
book of Esther.
It's the book of Esther.
Yes. It's the book of Esther's traveling pants.
It's not.
What?
Though.
I don't know.
And such a time as this was to save the Jews! Which you couldn't even appoint to your ticket, lady. Literally saved the Jews from being annihilated. I don't know if you know the story.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that was the whole for such a time as this. Go before the king and save the Jews from being slaughtered throughout the world.
Who said that? So Esther said that?
No, Esther's. I can't remember the guy's name, but he said, like, you're there for such a time as this.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, but if I go before the king and he hasn't called me, he may kill me. And he's like, you got to do it to save the Jews.
Yeah, well, it's sort of touch and go with the Jews right now.
She just grabbed the name out of the Bible, hoping everybody knew.
Esther.
You know what I mean?
You know why? Because she had to pick a female name.
Yeah,
she's like, what's the Esther from the Bible?
She looked down at a law firm card.
Yes. And saw that she never made partner. So then the question came up about praying, and she can't even answer that.
Do you pray every day?
I do pray every day. I do pray every day, sometimes twice a day.
Oh!
But in between washing turnip
The prophet is among us.
I grew up
twice a day.
So
fucking Muslims are laughing their balls off.
She answered that like a dentist asking how many times you floss.
23rd Avenue Church of God, and I was raised to believe in a loving God.
Okay. Hold on. Go back to that pause there because, sorry, we were all laughing at that. Pray twice a day. But then she has to stop herself because she said it like 19 times. If you want, you could tell she wanted to. I was raised in a middle class. She wants it, but she stops herself. She goes, I was raised in a.
Yep.
I grew up. So
yeah, you can hear it. Yeah. Somebody shocked her.
23rd Avenue Church of God.
Somebody backstage getting.
I was raised to believe in a loving God.
As opposed to mine, they used to beat kids about the head and face.
Well, the one you believe in, you're testing is patience. We all know what she actually wanted to say because we have receipts.
I was raised as a middle-class kid.
And I will never forget where I come from.
Yeah.
I will never forget where I come from.
Boy.
Look, I grew up in the middle class. I come from the middle class. I understand where I come from, and I'm never going to forget that. Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid.
And you'll end with it.
Middle class. I'm never going to forget where I come from. Middle-class kids. One, a daughter of Oakland, California.
Berkeley.
Put the middle class
Oakland.
and working families first. It's where I come from, and I will never forget where I come from. I come from
Where I come from, I blow some mayors and. By the way,
Kamala
by the
from the
way, born technically in Oakland, lived in Berkeley, and then Westmount, Montreal. It's like someone in Manhattan saying, I lived in Harlem. No, a penthouse on the Upper East Side. I get that the vicinity is nearby, but worlds apart. Nothing about her is even remotely genuine, and she had to stop herself because she realized she'd already said it too many times in this town hall. Please, the most important thing from last night's town hall, is do not become complacent. I know that you think this should be a walk-off. Get out and vote. Hey, if you liked this video, you can comment or hit like. And you know that because you and I were a lot alike. Probably like dogs. I like dogs. If you like cats, I don't want you here. I'm not making videos for cat people. I told you, if you're a cat, I don't want you here. I'm not doing it. Not doing it for cat people. Dog person, click there. Cat person,